This is all that remains of the lives and possessions of the 80 Albanians who died at Korisha. We were brought here by the Serb authorities. The story we pieced together reveals that Albanian peasants who had fled to the hills are now being ordered by the Serb police to return to their home villages, and that the air war makes their lives ever more dangerous. While we were there, another NATO bomb landed, just a few miles away. The survivors of Korisha. I asked Said Rajai why the villagers had initially fled to the hills. They, he said, not mentioning who, started to burn our houses, and we were frightened. Last week, the Serb police told these people to return to Korisha and stay in the building, which was bombed. It's not obvious they were being used as a human shield, but it's clear that despite the air campaign, the Serb authorities are able to keep the small Albanian population left in Kosovo under close control. On the road heading from the capital Pristina towards the village of Podijevo, we came across another group of Albanians. They'd been trying to go to Pristina, but the Serb police told them to go home.
They took us off the bus and said you have to go back to get permission to travel.
The Albanian quarter of Pristina, trashed at the beginning of the war, now quiet. These Albanians said they were still trying to go to Skopje in Macedonia. They were allowed to board the bus, but we don't know if they'll be allowed to cross the border. Pristina feels somewhat surreal. At night, there's the constant hum of NATO aircraft overhead. This area was destroyed about 6 weeks ago, but NATO's intensified its campaign since then. Even when you can't see the bombing, you can hear its thunder. But the Serbs don't seem to be about to give in. The bomb damage to the centre of Pristina is obvious, but, maybe not surprisingly, the most senior Yugoslav military officer in Kosovo denies NATO's assertion that the air campaign has seriously hurt the army.
I can reassure you that the military damage has been minimal to Pristina Corps and the Yugoslav army as a whole.
We were taken to see a small unit apparently preparing to leave Kosovo. The authorities say they've defeated the Kosovo Liberation Army. This was a show for the camera. We saw no other signs of a pullout. But nor does the army look as if it's been broken by the NATO air campaign. They say they want to negotiate their withdrawal.
It depends on developments. It depends on whether the NATO aggressor accepts the peaceful initiative of our high command. It depends on whether they will give us time to successfully complete the withdrawal operation.
The politicians in Belgrade who control these troops may be pushing now for some kind of deal. But the NATO air campaign doesn't seem to have weakened them so much that they'll just hand over Kosovo to international control. In hospital in the town of Prizren, those injured in the NATO attack on Korisha are fighting for life. It's one of the most painful ironies of this war that these people who feared the Serb military so much ended up as victims of the air campaign, which was supposed to save them. Lindsay Hilson, Channel 4 News, Kosovo.